Love me some heart attack Oilers hockey. Edmonton wins 6-1 in Nashville tonight. Now the game starts with Mattias Ekholm getting a very warm welcome back in Nashville, but then it's Edmonton that turns the Predators into prey. Leon Draisaitl opens the scoring on a power play, thus becoming the new franchise leader in power play goals scored with 127. I mean, Leo is just the mayor of the Nashville Predators. He's currently the only active NHL player to average at least a goal a game against at least one team, and in this case, it's the Nashville Predators. And I thought that this comment on Reddit was so funny. This person's calling Leon Draisaitl Chris Hansen because of how much he hates the Predators.
Why don't you take a seat?
Oh, I don't want to take a seat.
Have a seat.
No, I'm just gonna go.
Take a seat right over there.
How does he do that?
Just 10 out of 10 comedic writing right there. Now, Leo's also on a line with Connor McDavid and Evander Kane as Edmonton was looking to generate some offense after two pretty lousy games to open the season, and man, did Edmonton come through swinging. I will quickly mention for Kane, he looks like he hasn't quite found his footing, and he's also coming off a couple really bad injuries, so I'm not overly worried yet, especially because he's still boxing out the opposition, he's still laying out hits, he's still using his body as a weapon where he can, but just feels like his legs haven't quite been there yet. Hopefully that speed will come back soon. The second line though, Warren Foegele moves up to play with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman, and this line was just all up in Nashville's business. Zach Hyman, whose first and only hat trick was against the Nashville Predators, had another killer game. He had 4 points tonight. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins 3 points. He's looking to have another 100-point season. And Warren Foegele, man, he's looking to get extended and paid by Edmonton this season. Now, after a 4-0 opening period, I thought Edmonton just looked better. They look like they're back to formula. No more of this shooting from the perimeter and the point nonsense. They're getting in close. They're generating offense up tight. That's what this team is good at, and they were doubling down on the attack tonight. And Connor's edgework and relentlessness in particular was just on full throttle tonight. The dude was all over it tonight, and during the penalty kill, Hollywood made a last-ditch effort to get the puck out to Connor. Connor springed off, didn't get the shorty, but that's what I love about Edmonton is they can generate offense regardless of the situation that they're in. I mean, they led the league in shorthanded goals last season. Looks like they'll probably do it again this season as well. Now, wouldn't be back to formula if we didn't talk about the PK, which is back to formula as Edmonton just kind of sits around and watches the puck idly go by. Novak, who's just so nasty in general, easily has no issues sending this one past Jack Campbell. It is the only goal for the Nashville Predators, however, as Campbell, man, he just had a game. He was lights out and looked like Rolly in his prime days in Edmonton. Now, immediately after that Novak goal, Ceci takes a penalty, and Campbell makes one of, if not his best save as an Edmonton Oiler. He goes full Scorpion to deny Nashville a goal, and this game that could have been 4-2 turned to 5-1, then 6-1, and Edmonton just was able to run away with it from there. Despite Nashville still generating a lot of chances and a lot of great looks, Campbell's are shutting them down all night. He looked amazing tonight. That being said though, Nashville's defense wasn't all that great today. They were left exposed. They were a little bit slow. I mean, Edmonton was all over on the attack, on the forecheck, and Connor especially, there were moments where he just chewed them up and spat them out. Speaking of defense though, Ekholm, I thought he had a way better game tonight than he did in his first game of the season. And while Edmonton was scoring those goals, there were a couple of Oiler fans rocking those new Heritage Classic threads, and they look so nice. Jealous of you guys that went out and got those jerseys. They look so sick. Now, Connor Brown and Philip Broberg, I thought had pretty good games. Brown, he was a bit sporadic. I mean, he looked like his legs were moving faster than him. There were times where instead of getting the puck to where his teammates were going to be, he was still sending that puck too far in front of them, but I like seeing that. I mean, this guy was out for basically a full season, and it just feels like he's rediscovering his body, rediscovering his speed, so I like seeing him being a bit sporadic, and I know he'll settle back down. I like the skill, the IQ, and the speed that he has, and he'll just be really valuable this season as he can add those skills up and down the lineup. But yeah, for Broberg, I thought for moments he looked pretty good. I mean, his positioning is just so solid. He's just doing the smart thing, which is being in between the puck and the net. Now, I also thought it was funny when Warren Foegele scored the 6th and final goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Whoever's in charge of the music at Bridgestone Arena played Who Let the Dogs Out, and hearing that kind of caught me off guard because, I feel like that's what you would play if your team was blowing the other team out of the water, not the opponent coming in blowing you out of your own building. But That was really funny. And on that note about dogs, we need to talk about Gene Glizzy Principe. This dude wanted to talk about the Edmonton dog that Nashville had tonight. Nashville, I guess, has a variety of different hot dogs at Bridgestone, which was basically just a poutine and a hot dog. He drops it out of excitement, wipes it off like it ain't nothing, adds a little bit of that Bridgestone flavor, slams back that glizzy, and man, he was just so funny with it. While he dropped it, he said something to the effect of, "I'm a loser, not a wiener, and to be frank, it was a good hot dog."
Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena, they have decided, oh my gosh, I think I just dropped my hot dog. Can you wipe that down? I just dropped, oh man, I'm a loser because I'm definitely not a wiener. So there's a look at the 11 hot dogs. I got to try this hot dog. It is the Edmonton hot dog. It's been cleaned up, I promise. I promise. So there's cheese curds, gravy, and fries. No, that's good. I like it. To be frank with you, that's actually quite impressive.
Yo, Gene is just the king of puns. That was just a funny little sequence. But yeah, it was all music to my ears tonight in Music City as Edmonton wins this 6-1. They get their first win on the road and they'll look to get a 500 record this Thursday in Game 4 against the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm going to leave it at that. You're all a bunch of beauties. Thank you so much for watching. But before we take off, I'm going to flip this over to sports reporter Nick and we'll take a look at what else is happening around the league. Nick? Over to you. We're going to start with Montreal and Minnesota in what a lot of people are calling Marc-Andre Fleury's swan song season. This is likely the last time he's going to play at the Bell Center, and kudos to Habs fans. Despite the loss, Habs fans still gave Fleury a standing O, and he was not short of spectacular tonight. He looked like vintage Marc-Andre Fleury with a couple of very pretty saves in particular, and he did all that despite not facing a ton of rubber tonight. As for Montreal, I don't know what kind of curse they have on him, but Caden Gooley went down with an injury. He did not return, and after the game, it was reported that Kirby Dach is going to miss the entire season with a torn ACL and MCL, hoping for a speedy and safe recovery for him. And my friend Jonathan sent me a message during that game saying he was very much reminded Montreal is still in a rebuild, as Montreal let in 2 shorthanded goals on the same power play, and pretty much anything that could have gone wrong went wrong for Montreal tonight. Winnipeg starts their game against the LA Kings with all former Kings. I follow Kupari and Velarde all open this game. I thought that was pretty cool. Velarde unfortunately takes a nasty tumble into the boards. He went out, didn't return, and PLD, who's just getting rained on with boos from the Jets fans, he silenced the crowd scoring in his first game back, and LA handed Winnipeg their lunch, winning this game by a score of 5-1, and all 5 goals were by different Kings. Man, the depth on that team is just so nasty. Brandon Hagel continues to show the league that he is a world eater, but Tampa Bay does fall short in the comeback as they lose to Buffalo in overtime. It was Sean Couturier. This one's pretty cool. He gets a partial breakaway and Juleson whacks at his hand. He gets a penalty shot, scores. It's his first in a couple of years as he hasn't played due to injury for so long. So it's awesome to see him getting his first goal in Philly on a penalty shot too. And at the time of recording this, the Kraken and Avs game had just started. Eberle and Logan O'Connor dropped the gloves to start that game. Curious to see how that one plays out. I'm going to leave it there. You're all a bunch of beauties for watching. Thanks so much. Catch you guys in the next one.